Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with the Crypto Market Review. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert doing research. Today I'm going to review Bitcoin and Ethereum, so let's do it. We are on BTC USD on the 1 day here, and I think one of the key levels here was this swing low here at 26.5K. And the reason why I thought it was important was because I thought that this is kind of like the last wick that we saw within this entire consolidation period where price kind of bounced within this 2-month period here. And it was the lowest point where price still remained within this kind of consolidation. And we saw that price wicked below that and didn't quite make it all the way down to 25K. But this was, in my opinion, pretty strong wick. Buyers stepped in. It closed above this level, this 26.5K level on the daily. And we're now looking at potentially another move up. I don't know, and I don't think this is really like any sort of reversal personally. I think that maybe it could go as high as maybe 28K or something like that, mid 28Ks, maybe 29K. But I still believe that this overall consolidation period is very choppy and very inconclusive. Don't know if we're just going to see it just blitz higher than 30K with this current setup. I personally am still of the opinion that we're going to hit 25K. I think it just makes a lot of sense, and there's a reason for that. I believe there's just a lot of confluence with this 25K level. So if we just throw the fib out overall from top to bottom here of this range, it did come close to this kind of 385 fib level. I think I like this fib, yeah. Kind of like this 25K area. This looks pretty good. There's just a lot of confluence with that level. I mean, number one, it's the SR level of this entire range. So, if you just wanted to just chart the 25K area like this, you can see that it got tapped once at the top, once again, and then broke down both times. So it's a resistance area and theoretically should be support at this point. You see the 200-day EMA, this red line, usually pretty good for SR levels, and 382 fib. So, as I said before, in my opinion, I am looking at this level, this 25K region, and it's also this demand area as well, right here. So, this is the area that I long viewed for a long time, but we didn't see price get there. And it's quite possible that maybe it just doesn't get there in the short term. Like, for example, I mean, I truly believe that we're going to see sub 20K eventually, sometime this year. I just don't know when or how it's going to look. But, to be determined if we're going to see, like, this just go up higher, to, like, maybe, like, 30K and then just keep going. Or if we're going to see it, like, right now, something like this. But I still believe that 25K is the interesting target in the short term. What would make me change my mind in that regard is if we just see a lot more chop here, if we just see like more ranging, and then we just see another move up. Like, if we just see like more chop and more consolidation around this area, then I'm willing to change my mind. But I'm still of the opinion that 25K is going to come. As I said, don't know what it's going to look like or when, but that is kind of my interesting area in the midterm. As it currently stands in the 4-hour, let's scroll down to the lower time frame charts. We are seeing the EMAs all starting to tighten up with price. These generally speaking will provide some resistance areas. So like there will be resistance all the way up to 28K. If you want to see it start to getting bullish though, you would see something like this where price starts to reclaim it and all of these EMAs go below price. And in that case, we would see price go up to like this kind of 30K area. But I don't really know. Like, as I said, I don't really think this is. It's hard to say. Like, I'm not really feeling super confident in either direction, to be frank and honest with you. I think that this is still like a very choppy environment, and I don't really know what to say about Bitcoin. If it does continue to grind up a little bit higher or just stay in this low volatility state, then altcoins, I do believe that altcoins actually have found a short-term bottom, though. If you look at the current levels of the altcoins and like where they're at relative to where they were like 2 months ago, I think that many of them are finding some sort of support around here. But again, don't know how. I don't think that's like any sort of like long-term reversal. Like I think that alts probably are short-term bottoming and then will go, have a mini pump over the next maybe week or two or something like that if Bitcoin stays stable, and then probably just more downside, to be frank and honest with you. But Bitcoin, like as I said, 25K is kind of my area of interest, but if we can see price start to reclaim some of these current levels, some of these current SR levels, like this 27K area, you can see that it was support all throughout this late April period, and it kind of remained support for a bit, and then it now price is pulling back, and you can also see some of these other wick areas as well. But again, these levels are not super important, if I'm being honest with you. The most important level already got taken out, and that important level was this swing low established back in March 23rd. This was the important level, in my opinion, because as I said, this was the last wick still within this consolidation. Similar to how this last wick here at 31K is going to be very important. You can see the reaction from it. That's a very interesting area. All these other mini areas, in my opinion, are not, they're more just noise in the overall grand scheme of things. And I don't really think that these are really, really things that are very super important, to be frank and honest with you. As I said, you'll still see these levels interact. These are great levels to scalp with. They're interesting depending on how you trade. But yeah, I still think that these levels are just kind of, more just noise. But still choppy environment. Like, what I want to see from a bullish standpoint is for price to reclaim this 27.6K level, reclaim some of these EMAs, and then start trading, above and breaking these like 28K levels. Let's briefly look at Ethereum. I think Ethereum looks pretty choppy as well. And Ethereum in general is going to copy Bitcoin for the most part. I marked these two levels as like the overall giant range of this chart. The 200-day EMA is actually a lot closer to price, in my opinion, than the Bitcoin. You can see maybe that I still was viewing this $1,700 area as an interesting area of interest, to be frank and honest with you. It's an SR level, and 200-day EMA is right there, but still just very choppy. I don't really think that ETH USD is really in a spot to really move super strong right now. The chart looks good, but I just believe that ETH in general is going to underperform Bitcoin over the next few weeks or months. It did have a strong run all throughout like kind of the early or mid parts of 2022, and it's just kind of stayed within this huge consolidation overall. But it's really important to not miss the forest from the trees here. So like if you just zoom out and if you just think about it as like this kind of large trading range here, price is probably just consolidated over like almost a year period. And I think that once it really finally does start to move and really starts to trend, 10K is probably going to happen. Just don't know when or how it's going to happen. But, if you just look back at some of these old price histories of Ethereum, way back in the past, it's important not to, as I said, just to zoom out and really look at some of this other price history that we saw for Ethereum, where there were just large consolidation periods where there were a lot of chop. God almighty, I remember back in 2020 when I was like Uniswap summer, throwing ETH out like fucking candy and just aping into whatever Uniswap scam there was back then. But anyways, still, I think in the grand scheme of things, ETH is going to be just fine. But there's really no current trend, in my opinion. If you go down to lower time frame charts, price is all chopping around these EMAs here on the 4 hour. But overall, just consolidation, choppy. Not really much to say. I mean, and if you're scalping, like, good luck to you. I truly mean that. These are tough environments to scalp. So, you know, best of luck. I hope it all works out. But these are very, very choppy environments. You can see a simple SR from this as well. Resistance, resistance, resistance all throughout this area. And then it became support. You know, like this. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this price is still trading below it. But, yeah, it's like, as I said before, it's similar to the Bitcoin where, like, these levels don't really matter as much to me. I mean, sure, you will see reactions, but it's really these top and bottom ranges that really matter, in my opinion. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for the support, guys.